welcome to a very special edition of Rhyme and Reason. Obviously, the Thursday night football games have finished for the season, but Kurt and I were bored, and we were getting hammered with emails and calls, texts, whatever form of communication to do something for the playoffs. So we have put together some notes, and we're going to tell you what's going to happen in these upcoming playoffs coming up. Wild Card weekend starts Saturday. And we have predictions for you, and we're going to run through every team, and we're going to pick a Super Bowl winner, and of course, we're going to have some raps for you.
You know it.
Littered throughout. So we're going to start with the AFC, and we have 7 teams that made the playoffs, and we're going to tell you what we think about them. So we're gonna go in alphabetical order here and start with the Bengals of Cincinnati. Obviously made it to the AFC Championship, or won the AFC last year, actually. Made it to the Super Bowl. Some people thought it was a fluke. I think that they have proven that it wasn't a fluke. They've won 8 in a row. That's the longest winning streak in the league, or is the 49ers?
Dude, you bring in stats.
We did lots of research before this.
So much research.
I think they've shown enough to dismiss any fluke arguments. The AFC's tough. So,
yeah.
I just don't think the Bengals are the one this year. Joe Burrow's the man, but...
Joe Burrow, he's got so much swag.
Swag, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of swag.
That dude is full of swag. I think Bengals can beat anybody. There's not a team in the league that they can't beat on any given day. Their issue's probably going to be... they're going to need to be road dogs. They're going to have to go to Buffalo if they want to beat the Bills. They're going to have to go to Kansas City if they want to get through the Chiefs. Not going to be real easy.
They're playing the Ravens again 2 weeks in a row. Yeah. That's crazy. That's only happened a handful of times in NFL history.
Who's up next, alphabetically? Bills?
Yep. Go ahead, Kurt.
Yeah. Bills are super motivated. They I feel like they've been on the cusp for a little bit. Haven't quite got over the hump. They got DeMar Hamlin they're playing for at this point. It's going to be rowdy in Buffalo. Their fans are so drunk. There's going to be so many tables broken in that parking lot. It's going to be wild. I think Bills have as good a shot as anybody to pull this thing out.
Yeah. Here's my term for the Bills. Emotional adrenaline.
Okay.
Because I don't want to say emotional high because they're not. It's a bad situation why they're emotionally driven right now. Dude, they returned 2 kickoffs for Nyheim Hines returned 2 kickoffs for touchdowns against the Patriots last weekend. They hadn't had a kickoff return for a touchdown in like 3 years before that. That's emotional adrenaline.
That's also bad special teams coverage by the Patriots.
Sure. But you harness that emotional adrenaline and pair it with the second best offense and the second best defense in the league. I think you have a forecast for a Super Bowl champion. Maybe. We'll get to that later. So Bills are tough, and they're going to be in Buffalo until they get to that game where they can flip a coin and play in Nashville or whatever.
Yep.
So, all right, next up is the Chargers of Los Angeles. So I can start here. They are not very impressive. They are very inconsistent. Their best win of the year is against the Miami Dolphins, who we'll get to later. That's their best win of the year. They're 10-7. They've beat 9 bad teams and 1 okay team.
Yeah, it sounds like a Philip Rivers Chargers team. They're always the same.
They have the 21st best defense in the league. One of the worst defenses in the playoffs.
They're a kind of good team every year, basically, is what it boils down to. Not clutch. One of the worst clutch teams of all time. Franchises, I should say. And is Williams hurt? He got hurt the other day. Is he coming back?
Maybe.
Maybe. See, who cares? I don't know. I mean, they're good. They might win a game. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
That's all I got about them.
Yeah. Chargers haven't made any progress since the Philip Rivers years, is what we're saying. Yet. Next up is the Kansas City Chiefs. Kurt, take it away on the Chiefs.
Yeah, I mean, Mahomes is the man. I don't know what else to say. That dude is a magician. Tough to bet against the Chiefs, I would say. They're just so good across the board. The issue I think they might run into, their home field is probably the best in the league. And not having that in the AFC Championship game could be a problem. But
Well, Yeah, the Chiefs are something, aren't they? Always in Super Bowl contention. This year's no different. Patrick Mahomes is your MVP. There's no doubt about that. That guy is... There's a lot of really great quarterbacks in the league right now, and he is on a different plane. He's in a tier of his own, and then you have your top tier. He does crazy things on a regular basis that just make your jaw drop. Concerning is their defense. They have a very pedestrian defense in a stacked AFC. It just doesn't feel to me like this is the year where Mahomes and company get their rings. But like Kurt said, I wouldn't bet against it. They're an elite team with the best offense in the league, so they're fun and really good. Next up is the Miami Dolphins, who snuck their way into the playoffs despite a third-string quarterback starting for them. And we just found out before production that Tua has been ruled out for the game Sunday, which I think we all know in our heart of hearts is probably a smart move on the Dolphins organization's behalf. I'm sure Tua wants to play, but it feels to me like they made the decision for him. Here's the deal with the Dolphins.
When Tua was healthy in mid-season form, they were good enough, playing well enough to beat anybody in the league. They were being considered Super Bowl contenders. Tua was MVP favorite, and they were playing out of their minds. And then they lost 5 in a row. Tua's hurt. Tua's out. They suck. They're 1-3 when he doesn't start. It's just a whole different ballgame when you don't have the guy you groomed for this role with these receivers and this offense there. So as it stands, Skylar Thompson is the quarterback, and he looks every bit of the 6th-round rookie quarterback, like a 6th-round rookie quarterback should. He's a game manager, and the Dolphins don't have enough to even compete without Tua at the helm.
And they're gonna get throttled in Buffalo.
Yeah. So my notes basically are yours. I had these notes before Tua was announced out. My notes for the Dolphins say Tua dead, not dangerous, and gonna get smoked. So I think that's pretty much what you said in just fewer words. So yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, tough situation for Dolphins fans and Tua and all that. Next up is the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're fun, aren't they?
No, I don't like them at all. I don't think they're fun. They're cute. Not fun though.
Okay.
I don't trust them. They're the Jaguars. The Jaguars have not ever been good. I don't care. They're not going to win a game. Well, they might win one game. Because who do they play?
You don't even know.
The Chargers.
Yes.
And the Chargers aren't good either. That game sucks. It's definitely the worst game. So I have no faith in them. And Lawrence, you prove yourself, bud. I don't know. That's all I got.
All right, you're wrong about a lot of things there. It is going to be a great game because it's going to be a very competitive game. One team isn't head and shoulders better than the other, like the Bills-Dolphins scenario. Trevor Lawrence has not proven himself in the playoffs, but he's certainly proven himself to be a potential elite quarterback in this league this season. He took a team that won like 3 games last year to the playoffs, and it put up huge numbers in the process. And, they're red hot. Those red hot teams coming into the playoffs are scary. 49ers, Bengals, Jaguars. They have a good defense and a good offense, both hovering in that top 10 range, and they're at home against the Chargers team that we both agree is not very good. I think the Jags win it. I think they make it to the divisional round and probably lose there, but they are fun to watch, and I think Trevor Lawrence gets a chance to really show. He didn't really do well against the Titans when he had that chance to showcase it.
Check down Charlie.
Yeah, so that's a little bit of a red flag. But we'll see. I think he's on his way to being a top-tier quarterback in the league, maybe sooner than later. So next up is the Baltimore Ravens. Is Lamar Jackson playing? What's his deal? He's hurt, yeah. Okay, does it have to do with his contract stuff that he's trying to figure out?
Maybe.
Is that in the back of his mind?
There's a lot going on there.
They're just like the Dolphins. If Lamar plays, Ravens are dangerous. If Lamar doesn't play, Ravens have no business being in the playoffs.
Bingo. Yep.
And they play the Bengals, who just beat them by 14. If Lamar plays, they got a chance. If in that game, if he doesn't play, they're going to lose 31-9.
Yeah, I agree. Well said. I don't have much on the Ravens.
All right. So that's your AFC rundown. We're going to move on to Storylines are abound in the AFC, so listen to me as I spill the tea. The big one here is Tua and Lamar. If those guys play, their teams can go far. Mahomes is a superstar, but his defense is subpar. And look out for the Jags, they're ready to spar. The Bills are dope, and they're full of hope. They'll smoke the competition, you can book that, folks. Bills.
The NFL playoff picture's finally set, and a Super Bowl ring is what they're trying to get. Of the AFC teams to make the dance, I think only 3 really have a chance. The Dolphins and Ravens will bow out quick. Jags might win one, but Lawrence looks like a chick. It all boils down to 3 awesome QBs. Pat, Joe, or Josh could all raise a trophy, like the Chiefs versus Bills on a neutral site. The last couple of meetings have been quite the fight. Ring around the rosy in Kansas City, and those Allen Dynasty digs are really pretty. No Chiefs fans there to do the tomahawk chop. I think the Bills are motivated to come out on top. That's the Bills, for the record.
NFC. Bucks of Tampa Bay.
Yeah. You want me to start with the Bucks?
Yes,
Yeah,
go ahead.
They're not good. They're a bad, boring football team. I've watched every single Bucks game this year, like start to finish, and it is awful to watch. Everybody's saying Brady's washed up. That's not the case. Their offensive line is atrocious. They have 0 running game. So he's got no time in the pocket to throw. When he gets a little bit of time, he's been money. He's still leading the league in yards, I believe, this year. Completion, setting records. I don't know. One thing to keep in mind when it comes to this game is Ryan Jensen, the Bucks starting center, was injured in the very first practice preseason. He's been out all year long. He is an animal. He's been practicing the last couple of weeks. He's eligible to come back. I don't know. They've not announced for sure if he's back. If he's back, I think they're sneaky good. Like, I think if he can open up just a couple holes for the run game, give Brady an extra half second in the pocket, Brady doesn't need much else. He's got weapons. So, and their defense is solid. So they're dangerous, but they're not good.
All right, well, Kurt took up all our time on the Bucks, so moving on. Just kidding. Real quick on the Bucks, Tom Brady is the undisputed GOAT, and I've watched them a lot this season because I bet money on them and thought I lost until the last 2 minutes of the game, and I always won because Tom Brady figures it out, and they're at home.
Rabbits out of his hat all year long.
Absolutely, and they're at home against a Cowboys team who I am not a believer in. We'll get to them next. So yeah, the Bucks are interesting, and that Cowboys-Bucks wildcard game is gonna be fun. Yeah, so the Cowboys are next. Cowboys are, I don't know, like, I know they're America's team. Well, actually, the Lions are the new America's team, but we'll get to that. Cowboys, I don't believe in them. They're Dak just doesn't do it for me. I don't like guys that turn the ball over a lot. He's too much of a risk taker, and against a team like the Bucks who have shown they can turn it on when they need to, with the greatest football player of all time at the helm, I just don't think they're going to win. I don't think the Cowboys are going to win that game. Sorry, America.
I hope that's right. I have Cowboys. They're chokers. They suck in the playoffs every year. It doesn't matter who's quarterback. It doesn't matter who's on the roster, what their expectations are. They just don't win playoff games. Dak has proven to not be clutch. He doesn't do it for me either. I think, like I said, the Bucks are bad, but I do think the Bucks get through this game.
You heard it here, man. Bucks are the lock of the week. Eagles. Whoa.
Is Jalen Hurts alive?
Yeah. He's resting.
Resting, yeah. So he's going to play?
Yeah.
Sure?
Yeah,
Okay.
He played last week in the first half.
He did?
I think so.
Okay. Maybe. I didn't watch that game. Eagles are tough. They were really good this season. They whooped up on some pretty good teams. They have home field, which obviously is crucial. Their fans are going to be nuts. They're dangerous, and the NFC is not that strong. So I could easily see the Eagles making their way to the Super Bowl coming out of this conference. Only going to be a tough couple games, in my opinion. You get a first-round bye. Yeah, if Hurts is healthy, they have as good a chance as anybody, I think, in the NFC. I don't know how they match up against whoever comes out of the AFC, but
yeah, the Eagles are 14-3. They have the best record in the NFC, tied for the best record in the league. They've been dominating all season, but for some reason they've been catching some flack. Like outside of Philly, nobody's believed in them or whatever, and I can't quite understand why. I understand it for other teams, but not the Eagles. Like they were truly dominant this season, and they're coming back and they're rested going into the playoffs, and I see no reason why they can't continue to win games and be dominant. I mean, they've beat good teams. They've shown that they're an elite team. So everyone's kind of forgotten about them because Hurts was out, and they were, I don't know, were they boring? I don't know. People aren't talking about the Eagles like they should be, and they should be talking about Super Bowl champion, at least NFC champion. Next up is 49ers. Brock Purdy. I'll start.
yeah, go for it.
Everybody's really high on the Niners. They're like the darlings right now because, well, they've won like 9 in a row. They're the hottest team in the league, and this Brock Purdy situation. Brock Purdy's situation is great for us because he's an Iowa State guy, and it's exciting to follow him. It's not going to end the way people might think it is. It's the playoffs. It's a rookie quarterback. They're gonna need more from him. I know that defense is elite. Let me see here. They have the best defense in the entire league.
So good. So good.
I could see him making a run. If they make a run to like the NFC Championship, then Brock Purdy is a legend already. Like if he's not already, you know. So I just don't think. I think Purdy's gonna come back down to earth. I think the Niners could advance a game or two, and I don't see him. I don't see him in the Super Bowl. I'm certainly not winning it.
I don't know, man. They're electric. They've been so fun to watch since Purdy started coming in. He got George Kittle back involved. I, for the life of me, couldn't figure out why George Kittle was not making more plays this season. And all of a sudden, Purdy comes in, and you see George Kittle as the man. That dude's a beast. I think Purdy doesn't have to do too much. They got McCaffrey, they got Debo, they got Kittle, they got a good line both sides of the ball. Defense is really, really good. So I don't know why they're not Super Bowl favorites at this point. Even with Purdy, you can game manage them to the Super Bowl, as far as I'm concerned. So I like the Niners. When the Bucks lose, I'm jumping on the Niners bandwagon. Can't wait to root for them.
Kurt's a huge Iowa State homer, and that's why he said all that.
That's not accurate.
Okay. Sorry. All right. So next is the Giants. There's too many teams in the playoffs. They let too many teams get into the playoffs. If we're looking at the New York Giants and talking about them,
Yeah,
I mean that's a bye.
Yeah,
for
I wrote
the
might.
Vikings.
I don't know. I said they might beat the Vikings because the Vikings suck.
That's true too.
So, but yeah, they're not. The Giants aren't good.
Yuck.
Yeah, I don't even care if we talk about the Giants.
9-7-1. Who cares? Oh, great.
Seahawks. My note says go away. Should have been the Lions. That's how I feel about the Seahawks. I don't want to watch the Seahawks. I would have much rather watched the Lions get in the playoffs.
We speak on behalf of America when we say that, yes, my notes say terrible, shouldn't be here. Lions should be. Lions are America's team now. Niners gonna crush. Yeah, I mean, if the Seahawks would have lost and the Lions win, now we're looking at the that really good Lions team who would have been coming in red hot. They clearly are talented enough to be in the playoffs because they beat that Packers. Just look at what they did the last 2 months of the year. I'm glad we're talking about the Lions more than the Seahawks right now. Yeah, the Seahawks fizzled out. They were cute early in the season, fizzled out, snuck into the playoffs, and they're going to get crushed by the 49ers. Last and maybe least is the Vikings.
Frauds.
Absolutely.
Frauds. I don't know. They got a good record, but what does that mean? I guess a lot, technically. But as far as I'm concerned, if whoever they play makes an effort and can shut down Justin Jefferson, who is arguably the best player in the league, the guy is an animal. I don't know. He catches everything. He's incredible. But if you can shut him down, I don't know what Kirk Cousins can possibly do to beat you. Nothing. So that's if I'm defense, I'm double teaming Jefferson every play and make Kirk Cousins beat you. Otherwise, he can't do it.
Yeah, this is the worst. This is the least impressive 13-4, or I guess what would have been 13-3 prior to the extra game added, team that I can ever remember seeing. They're pretenders. They have been all year. There's a reason why in like week 12 against the Lions, I think, and the Lions at the time were like 4-8. The Lions were favored in that game. Like Vegas knows.
They do.
Vegas knows. If anybody knows, it's Vegas, and they had the Lions favored against like a 10-2 Vikings team.
What's the line on this game?
Because everybody knows they're
Vikings,
pretenders.
You know?
No.
All right, you keep talking. I'm gonna look it up. I'm curious.
I don't got nothing else to say. I'll read my notes. How? Why? Pretenders always have been. Lucky again with first round bye, basically. Will get hammered in divisional round against a real contender.
They're only 3-point favorites at home against the Giants. And
They're saying the Giants and the Vikings are
even.
same.
Yeah. What a joke.
All right, that's our rundown for the NFC. Now we got... Listen up. If you think Brock Purdy is going to stay hot, you need to hear what I say to get the true plot. The Niners are the darlings here, and that's clear, but the Eagles are the one the NFC should fear. What's not to like from these brothers of love? Great, oh, good D. They're a cut above. And don't talk to me about Minnesota. They get a bye against the Giants, and then it's Coda. Yes, the GOAT is here, and we can't count him out. And the Cowboys not. I've scouted them out. So as Dallas fans pout and Vikings lose a route, remember, it's the Eagles who have it figured out. Eagles, NFC champs.
Not sure what to make of the NFC. Most of these teams aren't that good to me. Giants and Seahawks, man, thanks for coming. Vikings trusting Kirk Cousins is quite mind-numbing. Philly looks weak as the number 1 seed. As for San Fran, they got what they need. Purdy is ballin', Kittle is on fire. That Cy-Hawk connection been taking them higher. I watch every Bucs game and they're just bad. I'm not blaming Brady cause the O-line is sad. Tom's never lost to Dallas, that's something to fear. Plus the Cowboys choke every single year. Give me the Niners versus Tampa Bay, where Shanahan's brilliance will be on full display. Niners win.
Now we got some Super Bowl picks for you. Kurt, go ahead. Super Bowl picks.
I am going to take, out of the AFC, I'm going with Team of Destiny, Buffalo Bills. Out of the NFC, I'm going with the 49ers.
Who's going to win?
Destiny. Bills.
That's crazy. All right, I'm going with the emotionally driven Buffalo Bills to win the AFC. And I'm going with the Philadelphia Eagles to win the NFC. And that's going to be a great, great, great game. I really hope that happens. And Josh Allen and company are going to get a ring.
All right. So we're
both on the Bills.
Yeah, we're both probably going to.
So don't take the Bills. If you watched any Rhyme and Reasons, you know that we're wrong all the time.